Okay.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Wagner. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. This is my pleasure today to welcome Anila Hack to introduce our second season of Prime Time for Women. We're going to tape our first show on March 3rd. Anila is one of 4 women from diverse backgrounds who will get to share her perspective and at the same time find that common ground that all women in their prime share. So Anila is here today, and she's just going to provide a little bit of background so that when we tape the show, if you have questions or comments, you'll feel free to email us, send us a message on Facebook. Just be in touch, because this is what we're all about, women who are together, have each other's back, support one another. We are stronger, healthier, and happier. So Anila, thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much for having it. Having me. I really appreciate that, your time and energy, what you have for all the women. So
okay,
here I am.
Here she is. So Anila, I just was wondering if I could introduce you a little bit. Anila is the mother of 4. She has 3 sons and 1 daughter. She was telling me earlier that she had an arranged marriage. She met her husband 1 week before they actually got married, and then she came to this country speaking just a teeny bit of English, and now she's been married for 32 years, happily married. And so I'm just so excited to say that there's more than one way to work this out. So Anila, why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like when you first came to this country?
All right, sounds like a plan here. Okay, when I came to, when I got married with my husband, and it was arranged marriage, right?
It was an arranged marriage. That's right.
Hey, that was the important part. It was not marriage like I picked him or things like that. It was more like arranged marriage. So my parents and his parents knew each other.
Right.
So from there, it was arrangement. Since he was in America and I was in Pakistan, so he went back to get married. So
Okay.
he did not want to get a girl from here. He said no, he's gonna go back to Pakistan and get a girl from there.
Okay.
So it was arranged marriage, and after, when he came in first time, he looked at me and a proposal came in. After, in 3 days, we had a paper marriage and all the ceremony done.
And then you moved to the U.S.?
And then I moved to U.S.
All
Yes.
right.
So that's how it was.
So that's a little different than how most Americans get married, but it's so exciting to say that, even, 32 years later, you've had this incredible ride, right?
Incredible. It was a roller coaster. I call it a roller coaster, but I still love it, because that's what we all do. When we go to a roller coaster ride, we always enjoy all the ups and downs and all the circles and all the motions. So it was really wonderful journey all together, and every day was the surprise.
And it's funny when Anila says every day is a surprise. I don't know. I did not have an arranged marriage. I mean, I knew my husband from the time we were 12. We went to the same junior high. But I will say that that's one of those common experiences. Despite these really different ways of getting into this relationship, every day of my life too has been a surprise.
That's what it is.
We raised 5 children together.
Wow,
How long have you been married?
I've been married 32 years.
Okay, and
it's going to be 33 in August.
Okay,
yes.
and we just celebrated our 40th. So we're women in our prime who are still looking to evolve and challenge and grow and change ourselves.
That's right.
So, Anila, maybe you could tell our viewers a little bit about your education.
My education was high school. When I did my high school, and I was in the first year of college in Pakistan, and I completed that. Thank God I completed that. When I was in the next year, I got married, and I did not had a chance to finish that. So with that, I came to USA, and from there I took some courses, like learning English. I knew a little bit of English from...
So how did you know English when you came here?
We read a little bit basic English in Pakistan in our schools. And my mother put us in a private school, so we had the concept of doing it, learning English. So we were in a private school with boys and girls until 7th grade. Then she put us in a public school, and in public school, all girls separate, and that's what we got raised. And I learned English from there were two shows we used to watch, Chips.
Chips, okay.
And Lucy.
I love Lucy.
I love Lucy.
Okay, so she grew up saying Mama Lou and Mama Luca.
So this is it. That's how we grew up, and that's the only show we used to watch. And they used to censor that shows as well because they don't show that time kissing or bad scene or things like that. But it was fun.
So you learned when you came to the U.S. You took some courses. And did you know how to drive, or did you have to?
No, I never know how to drive. I never drove because we had one car, and my dad needed, my brother needed, so it was like between them, and there was always a struggle. So I never put my foot in there.
So you came to
when
the
I
U.S.?
came to the U.S., and then my husband taught me driving, and once he taught me, after that, he never sit on driving seat. I love driving. I enjoy driving. I take trips. I can go anywhere and everywhere by car. So he just sit on the passenger seat. So she put him there.
She's driving. You're driving that show.
I am running my show there.
That's great. What's something that you can tell our viewers that you're really proud of? What's something?
Proud of, likewise, what did I say? I did told you that. I'm proud of so many things actually. So we have to make sure.
Like to take on challenges.
Yes. It was more like I like to take challenges. Whenever it's surprise in my life, because we all goes through a different momentum of life, and sometimes happy moments, sometimes sad, but you have to learn to survive in there. So that's what I always, whenever the challenge comes, I just take it. I do my best. If I do great, wonderful. If I cannot do it, then I just learn a lesson, my lesson, and that keeps me going forward.
And that's what I think is so exciting about being in our prime. I think when you're in your early 20s, you have the sense that you have to get it right, that you don't do it unless you're going to get it right. And I feel like at this stage of my life, I feel like I've lived a little, I've learned a lot, I've made a lot of mistakes.
Oh, a lot of mistakes. Trust me, I
that's
don't want to go there.
That's why I've learned so much, because I've made lots of mistakes.
But at least we learn our lesson, and we don't feel ashamed of that mistake. I feel like from my end, I feel like that was the time it should be happening, and I should learn it, and I should groom better, and next time I can do more better.
And I do think that mistakes are the launching point for learning something new and evolving and continuing to grow. So I think it's rewriting a mistake instead of bad as an opportunity to do it different the next time. So yay for women in their prime.
Yes.
So Anila, before we go, I was wondering if you could tell our viewers maybe something that's surprising about you.
My gosh, there are a lot of things. Trust me.
Okay.
Ask my family. It's a surprise for them every day.
Oh, I love that.
I always bring something new on the table, or with my family. I tell them my goals. I tell them everything what I am going to do, but few things I keep it surprise for them.
Okay, so tell us about
Let's
the surprise.
talk about that surprise. That surprise is one of the most important, exciting surprise for me. It was about me, so I loved it. I wanted to take a motorcycle license. So I decided, okay, I am turning 50. I have to do something on my birthday. So what I decided, I signed up for a motorcycle license class, and that was amazing and craziest side of me. Nobody knew it. Nobody knew from my family that I'm going to do it.
So they have this woman dressed with her scarf on her head.
I look right now. I'm dressed up, but I was just my scarf tied. I was in my exercise clothes, sneaker, and everything. I entered in the class. I stand there, and all the men with the big tattoos, and big tattoos, big guys, and some big women also, they were sitting and they just look at me, why she's here. They thought I'm there for some flower arrangement class or something like that. So they look at me and they just go, can we help? Do you need any help? I said, yeah, I'm looking for a motorcycle license class. And they look at me like this. Everybody looks at me. I said, yes. He said, did you sign it up? I said, yes, I did. So he said, oh, come on in, please. And I was just in there. And I jumped in and I just did it. And
tell us, what did your family say when you told
oh my God, they were sweating. When I told them on my birthday, and I told my family, everybody was there. My sons were there as well. And I told them, you know, I got my motorcycle license. They said, no. I said, look at this. It's right here. They said, oh my God, Mommy, you did. My son started sweating and my husband sweat too. And he said, oh, I don't believe it. You did it. I don't believe it. I said, yes, you should believe it. I can do it, and I did it. So thank God I made it through.
That's great. So you can see why I asked Anila to be a guest on Primetime for Women Season 2. She's high energy. She has a lot to offer, a different perspective, but at the same time, she is so understanding and interested in finding common ground and sharing herself and in sharing in your lives too. So speaking of that, I did want to tell you that Anila brought me a little scarf today.
You do.
Let's see if I can do this.
Yeah,
I had a little lesson. If I mess up, you can fix it.
Yeah.
So then I put this around like this. And so I think this scarf is really
It looks
beautiful.
so pretty. I love it. I love the color on it.
I am not from Pakistan, but I'm going to wear this scarf.
Yes.
Thank you. Before we go, can you just say, what, how you say scarf in?
We say it dupatta.
Dupatta?
Dupatta in Pakistan.
Dupatta.
Yes, that's what we say it. And I love carrying it. It's like my flag, and I love it, and I enjoy it the way I go out all the time.
Great. Well, I'm so appreciative of the scarf. I hope that you join us for Primetime for Women Season 2. We'll be airing the show, taping the first show on March 3rd and airing it on Antietam Broadband. We can't wait for you to watch the show and comment. Thanks,
Looking
everybody.
forward to see everybody there.
Bye.